Hey, did your mage character recently go through a slump and decide to become completely yoked? Does the thought of using a component pouch to cast spells give you such a headache you instead learn to channel magic by doing a perfect lat spread? Well, congratulations! You might be a wild magic barbarian. But what is a wild magic barbarian? Well, grab some whey protein, map out your macros, and ask the wizard to cast some graviturgy on the barbell as we unleash the uncontrollable destructive magic of gains. Where does magic come from? Well, for wizards, it's the time and patience put into understanding the laws of the universe that allow them to manipulate its forces. For bards, it's their strength of personality funneled through an art form that coerces reality into bending. And for sorcerers, it's genes. But you can't do any of that. No, for you, magic is an accidental side effect of your emotional instability, and as such, the magic is as unstable as you are. While other barbarians can lose themselves in fury to access reserves of strength or call upon their long-fallen relatives for some ghostly backup, you've made it a point to prove that even a witch can smack a bitch. But first, have you ever dreamed of living in a world inspired by the works of Miyazaki? No, the other Miyazaki. Have you ever wanted to enjoy a game setting designed around childlike wonder? Well, do my friends over at 1985 Games have what you need. With their new Kickstarter, Obojima, Tales from the Tall Grass, you too can live out your Ghibli dream adventure. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this Kickstarter. I have been a longtime fan of Miyazaki works, and to have them inspire an entirely different interest feels like the perfect meshing of two unique experiences. And just look at how beautiful this art is. If this alone doesn't get you excited for what 1985 is capable of, I don't know what to tell you, bud. Look at this. It's freaking gorgeous. The book already promises new magic items, spells, potions, and a new subclass with the Bard College of Mass that sounds so much fun to play, and a new brewing mechanic that actually makes alchemy fun. That's not even mentioning the new creatures, monsters, and vending machines managed by talking cats, so what are you still doing here? Go to the link below right now and sponsor this Kickstarter because I need this in my life immediately. Please go support 1985 and all their wonderful work today and tell them Yemba, you might be a D&D sent you. And a big thanks to 1985 for sponsoring the show. Now, back to the video. Everybody gets angry from time to time, but it takes a special brand of lunatic to turn a temper tantrum into a fighting style. Luckily, Barbarians are just that kind of lunatic, gaining you access to having all incoming slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning damage as long as you're not wearing heavy armor, giving you advantage on strength checks and saves, and adding bonus damage to melee attacks as long as you're using your strength modifier. You also get unarmored defense that claims to represent your ability to tank damage without a shirt on, but I think it's actually the refraction off your shimmering biceps that distracts the enemy long enough to cause them to miss. Second level gets us danger sense for advantage on dex saves against traps and spells you can see, because why worry about disarming a locked chest when it's easier to let it explode in your face? While some may call you a wreck, your attacks are reckless. That was bad. Giving you advantage on every swing, but also giving all opponents advantage against you. Hit 'em hard, hit 'em fast, and leave only pudding in your wake. Well, would you looky there. Third level is up, and we finally get the juice. But instead of sticking yourself in the tush with some gem candy or tapping into the savage might of spirit bears, you've got something else up your lack of sleeves. Starting with magic awareness. This acts like a watered down version of detect magic that you can use a number of times a day equal to your proficiency bonus. Essentially dropping all the bonus Terminator vision abilities detect magic gives, this lets you spend an action to detect magic spells or items within 60 feet and can learn what school of magic it emanates. But our magic isn't always so cooperative, and often manifests in the form of a wild surge. Now, whenever we enter a rage, our natural magic potential is unleashed in one of 8 ways. Lucky for us, unlike the wild magic sorcerer table, we don't have 50 different effects to go through, and all of them are pretty sweet buffs. So let's knock them out real quick.
Number 1.
You emanate a 1d12 necrotic pulse that forces a con save on any enemy within 30 feet and gives you 1d12 temporary hit points.
Number 2.
You open a rift in space, teleporting you 30 feet each turn as a bonus action, allowing for incredible mobility, but also a pretty devastating elbow drop.
Number 3.
You summon a pixie or a flump as a bonus action next to any creature you can see within 30 feet, and at the end of that turn, the flump explodes, doing force damage to whoever is next to it.
Number 4.
You channel your magic into your weapon, changing the damage to force and letting it do that hammer thing Thor can do.
Number 5.
You gain a magic aura that does 1d6 damage to any creature that hits you during your rage, even from a distance. Sick.
Number 6.
Your magic expands to your allies, giving you and them a +1 to AC within 10 feet.
A number 7.
The magic taps into the druidic side of the spectrum, summoning vines in a 15-foot radius, creating difficult terrain all around you.
Number 8. Number 8.
And finally, you channel your magic through your rippling pectorals to shoot a beam of light in a 30-foot line, forcing a con saving throw or doing 1d6 radiant damage and blinding the target until the end of your next turn. Woo! And after all that, we get primal knowledge for 1 extra ability.
Disappointed!
5th level gets us extra attack, but also increases your speed by 10 feet, because who needs magic when you've got glutes like these? But who says being wild is selfish? Because at 6th level, you can share your magic potential to bolster your allies, either giving them a D3 to attack rolls or ability checks for 10 minutes, or rolling your own D3 and restoring an ally's spell slot equal to the number rolled. This may seem a little complicated, but the hardest part is actually just finding someone to sell you a D3. 7th level gets us advantage on initiative rolls, and you can't be surprised as long as you use your first turn to enter a rage, and instinctive pounce, letting you move half your speed as part of that bonus action. 9th level makes those criticals extra juicy with an additional weapon die, and don't forget to be relentlessly attacking to double your chances of critting. But 10th level gets us unstable backlash. Now, as a reaction after we're hit with an attack or fail a save, we can re-roll our wild magic ability for something better. Being able to rein in your wild surge sum is great, but that means we have to change the name, and unfortunately mild surge just doesn't have the same ring to it. We also get another bonus proficiency at this level, but who cares about that? We just got relentless rage. Not only are we an unflappable powerhouse, switching our magical abilities at the drop of a hat, if the bad guys finally hit you hard enough to knock you down, you can just refuse. All you have to do is pass a DC 10 con save, which you should be pretty good at, and you get to stay in the fight. You might not be the best at this magic stuff, but being a badass, well, that's right up your wheelhouse. 13th level gets us 2 brutal critical die, and 14th level gets us controlled surge. Now we can roll twice on the wild magic table and choose which of the effects we want, but if we end up rolling doubles, you can ignore the numbers and choose whatever. But remember, if you roll doubles 3 times in a row, you can sit to jail for speeding. Wait, no, that's... Anyway, 15th level makes our rage so potent that nothing can stop it unless we fall unconscious or we choose to end it, which works so incredibly well with our wild magic table, letting us keep those effects going as long as your rage is up. So if you need to cross a large gap, you can rage and then try rolling for the teleport ability, or if you want to freak somebody out, you can go for the flump thing. But it may take you a few rolls to get there, so just remember to have a teammate punch you in the face until you reroll whatever you want. 17th level gets our 3rd and final brutal critical die, and 18th level gets us Indomitable Might, so you can never roll below your strength score on an ability check. But Primal Champion will always be one of my favorite level 20 capstones. This level automatically increases your strength and constitution score by 4 points each, even breaking the ability cap to a max of 24. While constitution is a much needed ability score in this game, strength doesn't get enough love in my opinion, so it's nice to see it here. So is the Wild Magic Barbarian really that wild? Yeah, and it's dope as hell. While the Wild Magic Sorcerer seems like an obvious comparison to our Barbie boy, they really couldn't be more different. Not only is this Wild Magic table something that works actively with the Barbarian's other abilities instead of feeling like something looming in the background, the simplicity of the Barbarian class allows for the Wild Surges to take center stage. In fact, I think our Wild Magic Sorcerer could learn a thing or two from the Wild Magic Barbarian. At the very least, our table isn't going to accidentally blow the party into a pile of ash. But what does it feel like to play this subclass? Well, the main complaints with the martial classes are the samey feeling most encounters have. Luckily, the Wild Surge table adds just enough spice without making things overly complicated, and the think on your feet attitude this sum seems to be going for really shines in these moments. This continues to shine as you level up, especially with Persistent Rage, where you can keep one of these abilities going all day if you need to. But does it hold its own against other Barbarians? Well, I think so. Barbarians are one of my favorite classes, so I feel as if I can speak from a place of love when I say that some of the subclasses are a bit lacking. Looking at you, Battle Rager. What's nice is that the Wild Magic Barbarian maintains its uniqueness while still doing all the things a barbarian wants to do. And if you're worried about role-playing a beefcake who's good at fighting but has some hidden magic, Pointy Hat actually has a character idea in his Barbarian video that I think is perfect for this subclass. And if you've never heard of Pointy Hat, I just feel bad for you, bro. Antonio's the man. But if you've done enough pull-ups, your biceps become supernatural, you give off so much himbo energy it actually manifests as witchcraft, and avoid actually confronting the underlying causes of your emotional outbursts with a trained professional because being able to teleport while having a hissy fit is just too damn fun, guess what? You might be a wild magic barbarian. Hey! If you made it this far, thanks once again for watching the video. This is the first in a new round of subclasses, so I hope you guys are excited as I am to see what makes it into the poll. As always, more things are coming up all the time, so check the community tab to see what's new. And until next time, have a good one, and I'll see you very soon.